Hey y'all, I'm in here in the kitchen. Michael has inspired me today. You know, one of his favorite dishes is soups. He just loves soups. And that's what today is all about. Nothing says home cooking like a hearty one-pot Italian chicken and vegetable soup that's just perfect for a cozy night in. Ooh, and my creamy Creole shrimp and lobster bisque, it's gonna keep your insides warm on a chilly day. And who says all soups have to be hot? How about a fresh fruit soup? It's cool, refreshing, and delicious. And to top it all off, y'all, I'm gonna be making the perfect dipper for whatever you're serving. Parmesan breadsticks. So get ready to enjoy a meal, y'all, that's not only simple and tasty, it's super delicious. I can promise y'all today that every recipe I do is gonna be super delicious. And we're gonna start today making a shrimp and lobster Creole bisque. And I'm gonna start with a half a stick of butter. Now I'm gonna toss in one medium onion that's been diced. And about a half a cup of diced celery. Now that celery is gonna give this bisque a fabulous, fabulous flavor. And now I'm gonna add a tablespoon of fresh diced garlic. And we're just gonna let that saute up, and we're gonna cook that just for a few minutes until it's kind of transparent. All right, and while that's cooking, let's come over here and work on our shrimp and lobster. Now I'm gonna take my lobster, and this has already been steamed, y'all. You may find that you wanna use a towel with these because the lobsters have some pretty sharp spikes on the sides, as you can see. I mean, they're pretty sharp. So it's just that easy. I love lobster. I adore lobster. All right. I think we're done with our scissors now. So I'm just going to cut this up into chunks. Look at that beautiful meat. Just solid meat. Now I like mine fairly chunky. I don't like my bites so tiny that, you know, I can't see them. Because you eat it first with your eyes. You know, I want to be able to see those lobsters and those shrimp in there. That's beautiful. You know, every time I get in my kitchen and I start doing Cajun or Creole dishes, I can't help but think about my brother-in-law, Father Hank, who lived in New Orleans up until Katrina. And then he was rescued out and sent to Houston, but he has recently moved back to New Orleans. Now, to my lobster, I'm gonna be throwing in about a half a pound of steamed shrimp. But I just love getting in the kitchen with him. Just adore it when he comes home and teaches me more of that style of cooking. All right. Can you see now, like that's a nice bite to get on your spoon. So like I said, I don't want them minced up. All right, now let's see, let's come over here and take a look at our onions and celery. I think they're ready to go. So I'm gonna take 1/3 of a cup of flour over those onions and celery and garlic while they finish cooking. And I'm just gonna stir them up. You can see I'm not making a roux, but I'm just gonna tighten the ingredients that I do have. So we just wanna incorporate that flour into our vegetables. And now I'm gonna slowly add 3 cups of chicken stock. Now you can use fresh or canned. You know, if you got fresh, by all means use fresh, but you know, canned will work. All right, so we're gonna let that cook for a few minutes, and we're gonna add 1 teaspoon of Creole seasoning. So before we leave, I'm just gonna add the 2 cups of half and half. And while y'all are gone, that's gonna be simmering with our other ingredients. We'll be ready to throw in our seafood, and then I wanna show you how to serve this up in a perfectly wonderful, edible bowl. No more washing dishes, girls. We're gonna eat our dishes. And later, I'm gonna be making a 1-pot Italian soup that is literally a 5-minute wonder. See y'all back in a minute. Hey y'all, welcome back. In case you've just stepped in on the show, it's all about soups today. It's a super delicious show. And I started by making a shrimp and lobster Creole bisque. And our bisque is totally ready. Now it's just screaming for me to throw in that shrimp and lobster. Look at this. Look at those beautiful chunks of lobster. Now these lobster tails and shrimp have already been steamed, and they've been chopped into nice bite-sized pieces, y'all. Look at that. How rich and delicious does this look? So now come on down here, because I want to show you what we're going to serve this bisque in. We're not going to serve this in a regular bowl from your pantry. We're going to serve this in a sourdough bread bowl. At Uncle Bubba's Seafood and Oyster House, we serve our gumbos and things in a bread bowl, and they're so good. I love to take my spoon and like you scrape out some of that bread that gets mixed in with that gumbo. Oh, it's so good. But what you want to do is come in and just pull out some of the bread, making you a cavity for you to put your soup or bisque or gumbo in. And depending on how big you want your serving to be, determines how much bread you're going to take out. Now, I'm going to take some olive oil, and I'm just going to brush this bread with that oil, because this is almost putting like a seal on it. All right, now, so we're going to put this in the oven, about a 350-degree oven, and that probably shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, probably at the most. So in the oven it goes. All right, so that's in the oven. Our shrimp and lobster bisque is beautiful. And now we're gonna step on over here, and we're gonna make this beautiful Italian soup. Now I'm gonna start by adding a couple of tablespoons of olive oil, maybe 2 or 3. And I've diced up 4 boneless, skinless chicken breasts. So we're gonna let those cook for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but it's not gonna take long. All right, so we're gonna come down here, and while our chicken's cooking, I'm gonna just slice up some zucchini. The zucchini just adds a wonderful flavor to this soup and also adds a beautiful color. So I'm just gonna cut that zucchini down the center, and I'll wind up with like half-moon sizes in my slices, just like that. So that takes care of our zucchini. Now I'm gonna toss in my onions, my carrots, and our zucchini. So it really is a nutritious pot of soup. Okay, now how easy is that? Now I'm gonna add 2 cans of diced tomatoes, and these tomatoes have been seasoned with basil, oregano, and garlic, which is gonna add a nice flavor to our pot of soup. Okay, so in that goes. And now I'm gonna add 3½ cups of chicken broth. Ooh, yum. So we're just gonna let this simmer for about 30 minutes. So y'all come on back down on this end of the counter because I think our bread bowl is ready. I know our bisque is ready. Oh, look at our bowl. Look at that. Now you can see how it's gotten nice and hard and crusty. Now, I think I can take it just like this. Here we go. I want to get this close to my pot of bisque. All right, now here we're coming in with our bisque. Doesn't that look delicious? All right, let's come back down here. So how beautiful does this look? Now I think I'm gonna add just a little fresh Parmesan cheese to it. And just a little garnish. Some nice fresh parsley. This is just delicious. It's a perfect bowl of soup to share with somebody that you love. And y'all, speaking of soup, that chicken Italian, that one pot wonder down there is coming along. It looks great. And when we come back, I'm gonna show you how to make a fruit soup. Hey, I'm glad to see y'all are back with me. If you like soup, today is the day for you because it's a super delicious show. We've made a wonderful shrimp and lobster bisque, and now I've got a one-pot wonder of a chicken Italian soup. It's full of chunks of grilled chicken and carrots, zucchini, and tomatoes. Now, all I'm gonna do at this point is just salt it. Then give it a little pepper, and it's all ready to eat. And this is one of those soups, y'all, that you throw in your fridge and like on the second or third day, oh my gracious, the flavors are just getting more intense as time goes by. And I think I'm gonna put a little grated Parmesan on this. Oh, and with some corn muffins or some garlic French bread. Be so good with it. It's really, really good. I really think you're gonna like this one. But let's move on down here now. I wanna show you another soup. Now this is not my recipe, y'all. This came from a young man down in Gainesville, Florida. His name is George Charus, and the recipe is fruit soup. So we're gonna start by adding 1 cup of fresh pineapple, 1 cup of peaches, fresh peaches. I just love them. And then a cup of Granny Smith apples that I've peeled and diced. And then 2 cups of strawberries, 1/4 cup of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of honey. Now to our pot, I'm gonna add 2 cups of water, 1/4 cup of pineapple juice, 1/4 cup of lemon juice, and then lastly, 1/4 cup of orange juice. So that's gonna give our soup a nice fruity base. So while that's cooking, I'm gonna step over here and I'm gonna get some cantaloupe. Now this cantaloupe has twofold duties. One, we're gonna serve it in our cantaloupe, and I've leveled off the bottom so it won't tumble on us. And now I'm gonna come in here and I'm gonna dig out about 2 cups of cantaloupe. I'm just gonna take my baller and just get in there and get my cantaloupe out. And our cantaloupe looks nice and sweet. All right. So now I'm going to take our cantaloupe and put it over into our other fruits. So I'm going to continue to let this cook for 15 minutes until our fruit is nice and soft. In fact, I have a swap out back here because I don't have time for this one to cool down completely before we puree it. So look over in this pot. Look at that beautiful fruit. I'm just going to put this in our blender. In goes all those fruit juices with all the nutrients in it. Put the top on. There we go. Ooh, that's beautifully smooth. Okay, what we need now is to stick this in the fridge or the freezer. Now, I can't hardly wait, so I'm gonna chill mine the quick way. I'm gonna put this bad boy in the freezer, and I've got one that I've had down here for a little bit chilling for us. And how you like these freezer drawers, y'all? I just love them. They're so convenient. So I just had this down there in my freezer drawer waiting on us, and now I'm gonna put this on our plate and just pour our cold fruit soup into our melon. Doesn't that look good? All right, now I'm gonna garnish this, I think, with little orange zest. And now, a dollop of sour cream. 2 dollops of sour cream. By George, I think you got it. This is delicious. When we come back, I want to show y'all something that's just going to be perfect along with our one-pot wonder, that Italian chicken soup, Parmesan breadsticks. So what I want to show y'all now is how to make a quick puff pastry breadstick to go with all these soups that we've had today. Now, I've cut 1 sheet of thawed puff pastry into 12 even strips. Now I'm going to take some melted butter and I'm going to brush our strips and cover them each with butter. And then we're going to flip them and we're going to butter the other side of them because we're going to twist these. So here we go. And in our dish, we're gonna add 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a teaspoon of dried basil. And we're just gonna mix those together. So we're gonna take this and we're just gonna twist it and mix it up with all that wonderful cheese and herbs. And then we're just gonna put these on a baking sheet and we're gonna put these in a 400-degree preheated oven and we're gonna let them bake for about 12 minutes. And then you'll wanna put them out on a wire rack and let them cool. But how simple is that? And they would go with anything, whether you're having a steak or a salad. They're just great. All right, like I said, you'll wanna cool these on a rack because they are kind of delicate. These have baked for 12 minutes. And you're not gonna believe how light and delicious these are with any soup. Not just the soups I've made today, but any kind of soup you're serving your family. They're wonderful. So flaky and fluffy. I just know there can't be many calories in this. It's way too light. But it sure is good. Michael, don't you just love it when it's soup day and I'm making all these different kind of soups?
I can't wait to try them.
I know. I've got this fabulous chicken Italian soup. Oh, it's so good. And then the bisque, it's just loaded with lobster tail that I've diced up. And this fruity soup is just loaded with all kind of fruits. It's so good for you. And then, of course, the Parmesan breadsticks. Smell that.
Mm.
You want some?
Mm-hmm.
Can't have any. This is all mine. I hope y'all have had a super day with me today. I really think you're gonna like these recipes. And as always, I send you love and best dishes from my kitchen to yours.